Hey guys, we're back with another review, and today we'll be looking at the SMSL SD9, a high resolution player. I guess you can call it a media player, a network player, but I wouldn't really call it a streamer. This unit is not a DAC, it's only a transport. It receives signal in, processes it digitally, and shoots a digital signal out. So a DDC, a digital to digital converter. At that, it does a great job. To get signals into this unit, you can go a couple different ways. On the back side, we have our inputs. We can bring data in through our LAN port, through a USB, or through our aerial antenna here, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. With Wi-Fi, you can connect this to your network and use DLNA to shoot over media from your computer or from the LAN port. This unit also supports AirPlay. As for digital outs, you have Toslink optical, USB-B, AES EBU, digital coaxial, and I2S on HDMI. On the front side, you have a nice screen, but it's pretty small. It'd be fine if you just have text there. It does show you album art, but it's pretty tiny and pretty useless if you have it more than 4 feet away from you. You have a little encoder here. You press it once to turn on, long press to turn off, and you turn it to select different options. However, there's no back button on this screen, and this is one of the main drawbacks. You really do need the control to jump out of a certain menu. I really wish they would have added just one little back button. Would have made it a lot easier to navigate directly from the unit instead of having to move over to the control for a lot of stuff. This is a fairly generic remote control, so one thing you want to do is when you put the batteries in, before you press anything else, press the B button, and that'll program this control to work with this unit. If not, you're going to be thinking that they send you the remote control, or maybe that your batteries are dead. Yeah, I wish it was pre-programmed at least when it came from the factory. Fairly well built unit. It does have this glass top, and they market that as a feature, but honestly I don't think glass has any place on top of these units. It's a super fingerprint magnet. I constantly have to get out my microfiber to clean it down, and I don't think it adds anything to it. I think you'd get better strength if it was just metal and don't have to worry about the glass damaging when you're moving things around. So what do I think about this unit? I kind of didn't want to do a review on this unit. Apos Audio sent this unit out for a review and asked me if I would take a look at it, and I said sure, but after having it for the first 2 days, I sent them an email and said, you know what, I don't think it's something that I'm interested in, and they asked me to just give it a shot and give my honest opinion. Now, I personally think it sounds great. Now, this unit's been out for around 2 years, and if I would have had this unit when it barely came out, my opinion might have been a little bit different. However, here's where my stance is right now. Currently, this doesn't have the modern options that I would want in a streamer at the $400 price point. The sound quality is there, and if you purchased this unit 2 years ago, I'm sure you're super happy with the sound quality still today. However, the connectivity features are quite a bit lacking if you're coming in buying a new streamer today. I tested this unit in various ways. I connected an Ethernet cable to this unit and shot over music via DLNA from my computer, and that played great, but that becomes a drag if you constantly have to go over to your computer to change a track instead of simply do it from your phone. Now, you can download additional apps like Bubble UPnB and try to control it that way. Again, another step to take that nowadays is not necessary. And then this unit also works with a Hibi app. That's where I had the best success with this unit. If you're the kind of person that has most of your music on a hard disk, then this would be a wonderful network streamer or music server. I have my little dinosaur Western Digital 2 terabyte drive with about 7,000 tracks here. I plugged it into the USB port on the media player here. I indexed the file. Pretty quick processor. It indexed these 7,000 tracks in about 4 minutes, so it's pretty quick. It knocked that out, and I was able to easily find my music on the Hibi app. Now, setting up the Wi-Fi and the Hibi app were a little tricky. The unit was giving me a hard time. I had to factory reset a couple times for it to be able to find my network, and the same thing with the Hibi app. I had to turn Bluetooth on and off a few times before it would register them. After a while, I got that fixed, and the sound quality coming out of this unit was wonderful in this format. On my Cambridge Audio A51N, I don't connect the hard drive directly into that DAC streamer. When I connect this particular hard drive to my A51N via the USB, I do get some electrical noise from the hard drive. I will hear some clicking, some hissing through the speakers. So I usually connect this drive onto my router and then a LAN cable to my A51N, and then that eliminates the problem. I do have an i5 filter on that LAN cable, which probably helped a little bit, but I don't get that problem going that route. In this case scenario, the hard drive connected directly to the media player, I don't get any hiss, any sound, any electrical noise from that hard drive. Comparing the audio quality of the digital stream from my A51N versus this unit using optical cable to my DAC, I don't get any difference. The sound quality is pretty much the same. I can't differentiate much difference at all. Now, where I can differentiate the difference is when I use the I2S over HDMI out here. When I connect that port over to my DOC U8, which has a I2S HDMI in, the sound quality does improve with this unit. This is a $400 unit versus $1,500 on the older Cambridge Audio. The signal over I2S is definitely a little bit crisper, a little clearer, the bass gets a little bit tighter, and the imaging gets a little more focused. Now it isn't a giant difference, but there's definitely a difference. So it's a great starting point for your digital signal. The great thing about this unit is if you add on an additional DAC, let's say a D70 Pro Octo, that unit coming in at $500 and one of these coming in at $400, you have a $900 setup that definitely will smoke the Cambridge Audio at $1,500 in terms of sound quality. What it doesn't do is modern connectivity features. The downside to this unit, and one of the reasons I wouldn't recommend it to any of my friends, is that it's missing three major things. One would be the ROON Ready certification, so you can't shoot anything from ROON over to this unit. Secondly, it doesn't have Tidal Connect and it doesn't have Spotify Connect. While the Hibi app is okay, there's nothing like working in your native app. It's just super easy to be able to push a button and have the music go into your streamer, which is the joy of the Cambridge Audio products. They work seamlessly with the Spotify Connect features, with Tidal Connect, and with ROON, it's a no-brainer. It works perfect. ROON can also make connections with AirPlay. However, this unit has an issue where the AirPlay is super glitchy. At times I was able to connect, other times my iPad would say unable to connect to SD9. I would constantly have to go into the inputs and select Bluetooth and then go back to AirPlay and try to find it again on my tablet or on my computer via ROON. Super glitchy, very annoying, not satisfying, not fun at all. Secondly, when I was in ROON, usually I can group AirPlay devices. And when I did find the SD9 on my list of AirPlay devices and connected it to a group with my Cambridge Audio so I can compare the audio streams by switching the DAC inputs back and forth, the stream just wouldn't play. I don't have an issue with that when I connect my Cambridge Audio with any of my WIM streamers. I can have speakers in my bathroom going, in my patio, and then in the den, and I can have 3 streams going at the same time with no issue. But the second I connected the SD9, nothing plays. So there's something going on there. I don't know if it has to do with ROON, but I'm thinking it has to do with this unit's implementation of its AirPlay. It's just been giving me trouble the whole time I've had this unit. So ultimately, I'm not gonna make a long review out of this unit. This unit does sound great. And it is a nice option, particularly sending the signal out through the I2S over HDMI. And that uses the PS audio pinouts, but you can also invert the pins in the settings to get the Gustard audio format as well. So if you only need a network streamer or to play your local media, this is a great option. Let's say about 3 or 4 years down the line, you want to switch up a DAC or try something different. This unit probably still has a solid 10 years of life left in it. I've had my Cambridge Audio for about 6-7 years now, and it's still kicking. I still keep that one in my system and just update the DAC and I'm good to go. However, that does have the features that I use. I use Tidal Connect and I use ROON, which is what's missing from this unit, and that's the one reason I won't recommend it. Because once you try those features, sooner or later, you're gonna want them. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about this one. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you. I'll see you on the next one, guys.